Hi, I'm Comfort Sakoma, the founder, CEO, and host of She Builds Canada. Allow me to tell you why I created the platform today. One evening, I was sitting and listening to the evening news. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was responding to the very sudden and aggressive announcement by U.S. President Donald J. Trump. Trump had just dropped an economic bomb, slapping tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum in what felt like the opening shot of a new kind of war. Not a war of missiles, but of markets. Not a fight on battlefields, but in boardrooms, supply chains, and checkout aisles. Canada was under pressure and fighting back. Over $130 billion worth of U.S. goods were being hit with retaliatory tariffs in an attempt to show the world that while we might be small, we're not to be underestimated. And in that moment, Trudeau issued a call to arms. Buy Canadian, travel Canadian, support Canadian industry. For the first time in a very long time, I felt something stir, a surge of national pride. I was ready to go to war, not with weapons, but with my wallet. I was Team Canada, and I was ready to prove it. The next morning, I walked into the grocery store on a mission. This was no longer shopping, it was strategy. I was going to fill my cart with as many made-in-Canada products as I could find. But very quickly, I hit an unexpected obstacle. What is still Canadian? My Charmaine toilet paper, American. I swapped it for Royale. Heinz Ketchup, American. I picked up French's instead. But something didn't quite sit right. I didn't love the taste of French's ketchup, and Royale wasn't as soft as Charmaine. I began to feel a bit disillusioned. Was buying Canadian always going to feel like a bit of a downgrade? Then it happened. The turning point. I was on an Air Canada flight from Vancouver to Calgary when a flight attendant handed me a bag of pretzels. A brand I'd never heard of before, Twigs. The packaging was beautiful. I took one bite and I was floored. Crunchy, buttery, perfectly seasoned. Who made these? How had I never heard of them before? I rang the call button and asked for more. The attendant brought me 4 bags and I ate 3 before we landed. The next day, I added Twigs to my grocery list and found them on the aisle at my local grocery store. That one snack sent me down a rabbit hole. I began searching for more Canadian brands, not just the ones that existed, but the ones that excelled. And I found them everywhere, across every industry. High-performing, premium quality, world-class products made right here at home. But something else emerged too. The businesses owned by women, they were harder to find. They had less media coverage, less PR, less access to shelf space, less capital, less visibility in the very country that they were helping to build. Not less quality, not less potential, just less exposure. And that's when it clicked. If a brand like Twigs, as good or better than anything coming in from the United States, could go unnoticed by me for so long, how many more were going unnoticed and overlooked? And more importantly, to me anyways, how many of these were women-owned? And that's when I knew we needed something different. We needed a platform, a spotlight, a strategy. And that's why I built She Builds Canada. Because if Canadian women entrepreneurs are left behind in this economy, Canada loses the war. It's not just a podcast, it's a visibility engine. It's here to surface Canada's best women-led brands, tell their stories, and help them win in a national economy that too often overlooks them. So if you're a woman entrepreneur with a great Canadian brand, go to shebuildscanada.ca and apply to be featured. Your story deserves to be told. And if you're a Canadian business that wants to advertise, I will personally read your 30-second ad during my show. Not just to promote you, but to position your business as part of this national movement. This is how we build economic power, by telling the truth, creating visibility, and shifting who gets seen. Let's build Canada and make sure that women are at the center of it. Visit shebuildscanada.ca to get started.